I'm going to tell you that I don't think it's one and done because I'm trying to figure out what assets the New England Patriots have available to get the quarterback that they need. And I'm combining that with the lack of suitors that's going to be out there for Cam Newton. Threw 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, if I remember correctly, and wasn't really that impressive as far as I'm concerned. This was not a good season for him. We know COVID played a significant role. We know 8 to 9 different individuals started off the season by not even showing up for the New England Patriots because of COVID. So I'm certainly not casting any aspersions on Bill Belichick, the coach. The GM might be another matter, but not the coach. But I'm just looking at it from the standpoint, when I look at the New England Patriots right now, I saw Bill Belichick displaying a level of understanding, of patience, and empathy towards a player that I had never witnessed, through the eyes. I never saw that from Bill Belichick before. And so when I saw that with Cam Newton, as Cam Newton sat on a bench, as Bill Belichick elected to bench him and things of that nature, I just saw a level of understanding and patience. I saw him being more complimentary than I'm accustomed to hearing Bill Belichick spew about players. And I think that he actually wants to give Cam Newton a second go round at all of this. I could be wrong because I'm not reporting on the team. I'm not in Boston. They are. But that's just the sense that I get. And it would not shock me if I ended up seeing Cam Newton back in New England next season. I don't think it's the right move because I think Cam Newton needs weapons, and he don't have them in N'Keal Harry and others. But I do think that Bill Belichick is inclined to keep him on board for some reason.
I think there's reason to believe that, Stephen A., because the Patriots won 7 games without a lot of weapons, with a lot of defections off the defense as a result of COVID before the season ever started, and probably less on offense than even Brady had the year before. And then Cam, off a catastrophic injury, new system, in that situation I just mentioned, himself had COVID. And I think it affected his performances. He even talked about the COVID kind of fog after that. Missed games, the practice facilities were shut down. You need to practice with new teammates. You couldn't do it. Won 7 games, but also beat a whole bunch of really good teams last year. And quarterback stats, it's just like a way of measuring a means to an end. Even if your stats don't look great, if you're getting the wins and the coach feels you're competitive and all that, okay, I get why you would say that. But I believe Jimmy G is going to be available. I think Bill Belichick values Jimmy Garoppolo. I think this Brady-Belichick thing is not over, although Brady's in a big lead right now. And I think that Garoppolo, when you consider the money, it's not what the premier quarterbacks make. It was really more of an upper-middle-class contract, an elite kind of contract. And Garoppolo does the thing that Belichick really likes from his quarterback. He gets the ball out quickly, makes quick reads, gets the ball out quickly. I think there's a very good chance, if I had to guess, that Jimmy G is the Patriots starter this year.
Okay, so between these two options, if I had to choose between Cam or Jimmy G, I'm going to go with Cam because he's cheap and he had a bad year last year. And he's going to come into 2021 looking to prove, like, I can actually play in this league. However, I think both of these choices are a little short-sighted. Why would Jimmy G be available? Why would the 49ers say, okay, we'll part with him if Deshaun Watson is available? You could see Deshaun going to the 49ers, right? So Jimmy G is expendable when compared to Deshaun Watson. I think the Patriots, at this point, they need to go all in. Like, they need to either find the guy in the draft, a young kid, and then pair him. Like, let's say you could get Cam on the cheap and you have a QB competition. Cam could be the week 1 guy while he's the bridge to the next guy. But Jimmy G, Belichick loves Jimmy G. I'm sure he does. We heard Belichick loves Jarrett Stidham. Oh, Tom Brady's not here anymore. It's going to be Jarrett Stidham's team. We're going to see Jarrett Stidham. We didn't see Jarrett Stidham. And now we're talking about who's going to be the QB of the future, and no one's talking about Jarrett Stidham. So I understand the connection to Jimmy G, but at this point, the window for Belichick, it is closing very quickly on this team. You need to go all in and find the guy that's going to change the franchise.
Well, he wanted that to be Jimmy G. That's the point. Stidham was just what was left over. He was going to hand the franchise to Jimmy G. Tom Brady had to do an end around and go to the owner to get that changed. So here it's a little bit different because he wanted to give it to Jimmy G. By the way, a guy who has his QB to interception ratio is like 2-1. His won to lost ratio is 3-1.
Well, Max.
And Stephen A., when he doesn't play, his teams never win. I think Belichick looks at that too.
You're making a case against yourself with that argument because the more you hype Jimmy G, the harder it would be for New England to get him. What are the assets that you're willing to give up? You know, what are the assets that you have to give up if you're going to get Jimmy G in return? That's why I don't subscribe to that. Bill Belichick may have given him away for a second-round pick. I assure you, San Francisco ain't going to do that. San Francisco definitely is going to get, hell, you ain't giving them up for a second-round pick. No, they ain't going to do that. Not to New England. That's number one. Number two, of course, Deshaun Watson is a significant upgrade. The problem with Houston is that, again, if you lose somebody the caliber of a Deshaun Watson and you see recent moves that have been made in the National Football League and what has been surrendered in the case of a Matthew Stafford and others and what assets were given up, well, if you got those assets for players like that, what the hell are you going to get for Deshaun Watson? So Houston's asking themselves that question in terms of who's going to be willing to mortgage the farm in order to get Deshaun Watson. I'm thinking that New England doesn't have much to offer, and as a result of not having much to offer, you might be stuck in a situation where Cam Newton, for the immediate moment, is the best route for you to take. And that's all I'm saying in regards to that. We're not looking at it, all right, where's the better place to land up or whatever. I'm talking about Cam Newton being somewhat stuck because there's so many questions about him, and New England being stuck because they don't have but so many assets to give up. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.